In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to solve for limits or how to determine limits when you have a case that involves multiplying 0 with infinity. This is a past question paper, December 2020. This is Maths N5. I'm sure you could see by the thumbnail. If you're new to my channel, please care to like, share, comment, and subscribe and be part of this awesome community. I post engineering related content and also offer BSc and BSS and also maths tutoring for engineering students who are in college, not university, right? So thank you guys for subscribing, for commenting, for sharing in advance. And I also thank those that are subscribing. I can see that the numbers are going up and that's very good. So I'm not going to waste your time. Guys, this is one of the most confusing questions when it comes to limits, and most people just leave it like that. Okay, when you're multiplying 0 and infinity, right? So the trick is in understanding that when you multiply by a bigger number, it is the same as dividing by a small number. Okay, I've already dealt with that explanation or in more detail in the previous video, so do check them out. Comment, share, and be part of this awesome journey. So I'm not going to waste time, as already mentioned. So we are given limits, right? So we are given lim, and we have x is approaching 0. Okay, limits x approaches 0. Okay, let me just rewrite that. Right, lim x approaches 0. We are given x times cot x, right? The indeterminate form of this will be 0 times infinity, and it's very easy to find out what indeterminate form you're working with. Check my previous video. I did explain that in more detail when I was doing April 2020 question paper. I was just focusing on question 1, which is dealing with limits, right? So how did I find out that cot x is infinity? Okay, what is cot x equal to? What is cot x equal to? For you to find that out, you will say 1 over 10, right? 1 over 10, and you will substitute. If you put 10 in place of x, you're going to get 5. Okay, you're going to get 5 if you say 1 over 10 and you put 0 in here, okay, sorry, not 0, if you put 10 like this, what you get, you're gonna get 5.67. but if you go smaller, if you put 5 in the place of x, you're going to get 11. If you put 5 in the place of x, you're going to get 11. You're going to get 11. Okay, 11,43. You're going to get 11,43. Okay, my network is kind of bad because it's raining. I'm gonna get that, and if you put 2, you can see that the answer is going up. So that's how we identified that it is infinity, because the answer is going up, right? The answer is going up. That is how we found out that it is infinity. This cot is the same as 1 over 10, right? So this is just a reciprocal. Okay, so we're finding out that it is approaching infinity. So how do we answer this question? Well, it's not hard, right? It's not hard. When you say tan itself, okay, let me do this. Let me rewrite this now. Let me say lim x approaches 0, and I'm gonna say x times 1 over tan x, right? Guys, tan, if you say tan 10, if you put 10 in here, if you put 10 in there, what you get, tan, if you put 10, you will get 0.17. Okay, and if you put 4, let's just go straight to 4. If you put 4, you're going to get 0.069 or 07. If you put 1, you're going to get, okay, let me put 0.001. 0.001. If you put 0.001, if you put if you say tan, okay, my network, sorry guys, if you say tan and you have 0,001, your answer will be 0,000. You can see that as x approaches 0, right, what is happening? Your answer is striving towards 0 as well. So now we have a new form of indeterminate, right? Just like that, we manipulated cots, and just write it what cot is equal to, and you will figure that out. So now we have, okay, now we have 0 over, we have 0 over 0, okay, because this is the same as saying tan x, this is the same as saying x over tan, right? So now we're going to say lim x approaches 0, x over, let me put a bracket, over tan x, like that, okay. Now we need to use L'Hopital's rule, because we need the derivative, right? L'Hopital. Okay, I'm just going to write LH. Okay, so what does it state? That we can find the limits by deriving both the numerator and the denominator at the same time. So that means that the denominator, the derivative of the numerator will be 1, right? And the derivative of the denominator, well, will be what? It'll be sec squared x. Guys, you should know how to do derivatives without your calculator. I did that, I mean, without the formula sheet. I did a video when I was explaining that. So this would be sec, okay, sec squared x, okay, and sec squared x, 1 over sec squared x itself is a reciprocal of what? Cos, right? So you'll say now lim x approaches 0. Now you have what? You have cos, but you don't just say cos now, you have to say cos squared, right? You say cos squared x, right? And then you just substitute, guys. This is going to be equal to cos squared. If you put 0 in here, you are going to get your answer as 1, positive 1. And guys, that is how you find yourself the 4 marks. So the trick is here, just finding the determinate, the indeterminate form, right? So you can see that we got it twice. First, this was what we got, and then we had to make out a fraction so that we can find out what's going on, right? Now, the following question is quite interesting. So, pardon me, let me just erase this. Now, we are doing 1.2. 1.2, we are given something that's looking very complicated. Log 4y is equal to lim x approaches 0, and then we have whatever that is. But then they gave us a hint, and then they said that the integral of e to the power of t with respect to t is equal to 1 minus e to the x minus 1, right? So won't waste time. I'm just going to replace this with 1 minus e, right? Why? Because they said that that is what it is equal to. But now we need to find also the numerical value of log y. So they're just saying solve for this. It's a limit, right? So I'm gonna rewrite it here now in a proper way. Right, I'm gonna say log base 4. 4 is the base. 4, that looks like a 9, right? So the base is 4, and y is going to be equal to, they told us what that integral is equal to, so we're going to substitute. We're going to say 1 minus e minus x, okay, and we're going to divide this by 2x. I'm going to divide this by 2x. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put the limit. Forgot to say lim. I forgot to say lim. Okay. Okay, let me just do this. Okay, that's enough. So over here, I can now say lim x approaches 0. X approaches 0. Let me just put this in the brackets. Okay, like that. So we need to find out the indeterminate form of this equation. So what do we know about e? What we know about e to the power of 0, we know that it is equal to 1, isn't it? E to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Even if you have minus 0 there, even if you have minus 0, the answer will be 1. So that means that in the numerator we have 0. So the indeterminate form is pretty straightforward. We're going to have 1 minus 1. So that means 0 over 2 times 0 is going to be 0. So guys, this is what we have. Using L'Hopital's rule, as you already know by now, using L'Hopital's rule, as you know by now, if you have 0 and 0 in the numerator and denominator, you just have to derive. So I'm just going to write LH here so that you know what we did. Okay, so we're going to say lim x approaches 0. X approaches 0. So we need to find the derivative of the numerator and denominator. The derivative of 1 is 0. So, but then when you're finding the derivative of e, it's the same. They just spit it out as it is. So e minus e, because it's a negative, to the power of minus x, right? But remember this, you need to also multiply it with the derivative of the exponent, right? Which is going to be minus 1 in this case, times minus 1 like that. And we're going to divide this by the derivative of 2, which is of 2x, which is going to be 2, right? Guys, I'm going to rewrite this. Lim x approaches 0 is going to be equal to, this is going to be positive e to the negative, right? So it'll be minus e to the minus x. Sorry guys, I just said positive and I'm writing negative. Oh no, don't need a ruler. Okay, nope, don't need a ruler. Okay, right, that's, and we want to divide that by 2. Okay, now when you substitute, it's going to be equal to, if you substitute, it's going to be e to the minus 0. Again, divide this by 2. Our answer, I think we say lim x approaches infinity, 0, our answer is going to be equal to 1 over 2, right? This is going to be the value of the log. Okay, so let me just write this properly. To answer the question, we'll say log base 4y is equal to 1 over 2. Okay, so that is the numerical value of the log. It's 1 over 2. The following question wants us to solve for y, right? But then we know that log 4y is equal to 1 over 2, right? Because we solved it already. We solved for the side for the right hand side. We found out that the right hand side was equal to 1 over 2. So we need to solve for y. So y would be equal to the base 4, the exponent will be 1 over 2. 1 over 2. Guys, if you need help understanding what I did there, I'll click in the corner there, or maybe you'll see a video in the description that is going to help you understanding that. I did a video a couple months back when I was explaining logs. Okay, so guys, this will be equal to, I think this is going to be the same as doing this, root 4, and then y will be equal to 2. The numerical value of y will be 2. Okay, not very hard, isn't it? That's why it's 1 mark. Now, the following question is us finding out whether a function is continuous or discontinuous. In the previous video, I already mentioned that to identify whether a function is continuous or discontinuous, it's pretty simple what you need to do. You just grab the denominator and equate it to 0, then you solve for x. Okay, then you solve for x. So guys, I'm going to be showing you how to do that for 2 marks. 2 marks is very easy. Yeah, you just factorize. It's like doing algebra in grade 12 or 11 or 10. Okay, so we just grab the denominator and we equate it to 0. So we will say x squared minus 1 is equal to 0. This is the difference of 2 squares. So x plus 1 and then x minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, the value of x is going to be plus or minus 1. Guys, this is enough to get yourself 2 marks. And yeah, that is that for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe. In the next video, I'm going to be doing also another question on limits. Please care to subscribe for more and stay tuned. Until we meet again in the next video, cheers.